April is Alcohol Awareness Month. I'm now joined live on the phone by Beth Walser, who is the clinical director at Volunteer Behavioral Health. And Beth, good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. The first question, we've seen in so many instances where the pandemic has impacted our lives, but when it comes to alcohol abuse, what kind of changes were you all seeing at Volunteer Behavioral Health and I guess across the country with how many people were affected?
Yeah, the stats are really staggering. One stat says that households with children saw an increase in alcohol consumption of nearly 60% following the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. There's others that say, within 9 months of the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, excessive drinking increased by more than 38%. Those are really staggering statistics. When you think about how the pandemic just started in 2020, and it's already increased by that much. Another one that was really eye-opening was in the first 9 months, Americans increased their drinking by 1 billion drinks per month.
Wow.
And these are all stats that have been pulled by different surveys and statistics.
My goodness, those are staggering for sure, and it's heartbreaking because these numbers are the lives of real people. How, when we talk about alcohol abuse and excessive drinking, how is it impacting lives in our country?
Yeah, I mean, a huge impact is the fact that, they say an estimated 95,000 people die every year from alcohol causes, and it makes it the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States. And so just that alone, and the fact that you see alcohol everywhere, if you look on commercials, billboards, and TV, just to name a few things, it's everywhere that you look, there's alcohol and, the impact that it has on our lives.
Wow. And we're sharing some pictures from, bars and people who are out at restaurants and things like that drinking. And it can be a fun experience. But at what point do people realize, my loved one, this is getting to be excessive for my loved one. This is getting to be excessive for me. What I guess are some of the warning signs to look out for?
Yeah, I mean, there are some risky behaviors that happen with people that excessively drink. They might have unintentional injuries, falling down from drinking too much, motor vehicle accidents, violence when they're drinking, alcohol poisoning. You think you can drink a certain limit and all of a sudden you're ending up in the hospital. And then also, poor decision making and, risky behaviors that come from too much alcohol. There's also long-term risk and effects, like hypertension, heart disease, some cancers are linked to excessive drinking, alcohol dependency. Those are just a few of the, risk and short-term and long-term that are seen in people that excessively drink.
Wow. So how can these people get help? How can they get help for their loved ones? What's your advice?
Yeah, I mean, there's several things, in our community. There's AA, there's Celebrate Recovery, there's Al-Anon for those that are family members of people that are alcoholics. There's IOP, intensive outpatients out there. There's rehab, detox facilities. And I always think that, therapy is helpful for not only the person that's going through the addiction of alcohol, but also for their families, to have that extra support. Volunteer has New Leaf, which is in Cookville, and that's an opportunity, for someone to go for detox and for addiction services. And so that's something that we offer, but there's other resources out there as well.
Well, it's good to know that there is help available, and I'm so appreciative of you coming on, Beth, and talking with us and sharing this insight with communities. And I'm hoping this can really help some families and help them to understand that, assistance is out there. So thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Of course. And for more information, folks, on Alcohol Awareness Month, just head to WKRN.com. We'll have this entire segment posted in the Newsmaker section under the Watch tab.